Hi, my name is Brother Matthew Kotek, originally from La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Hello, I'm Brother Joel William McGraw. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
I met the brothers when I was a student at St. Mary's University of Minnesota. After finishing my degree there and finishing graduate work at Christian Brothers University in Memphis, I joined the postulancy and then went on to the novitiate and professed my first vows in 2018.
Seeds of my vocation were the Sisters of Charity of Nazareth, who taught me in elementary school, but then when I met the brothers in high school, I thought, hey, I can do that. And I entered, after I went to public college for a year, and I entered the brothers in 1964 and made the novitiate in Glencoe, Missouri.
I met Brother Joel. I was still a graduate student at CBU in Memphis, and we had mutual friends with the deacon who was at the parish where I was teaching, and he invited me to his house for dinner with his wife, and he also invited Brother Joel.
And we had a critical need for a Spanish teacher, and one of our former teachers, Mrs. Holly Comas, knew about you and arranged with the visitor and with Brother Chris to have you come over and continue your postulancy with us. And I was, like the other brothers, we were encouraged to have someone like you. We had already known you, and the chance to be with someone that will shift our thoughts from the past. So often our table conversation is telling stories about the past, but then people like you would come and bring us to the present and to the future. That has been that's been a grace, because I know I have a tendency to, they say, one brother said, Brother Joel marches forward into the past.
Taking our table conversations in a different direction and refocusing on what's currently happening in our society, what's currently affecting our students, and how we can best meet their needs. And I think in a lot of ways, just even changing perspective, looking at things from a different perspective. I think that's one of the things that we as young brothers can provide, is not completely changing the narrative, but just taking the narrative as is and kind of changing the perspective on how we look at things and how we do things in our communities and our ministries, even in our relationships with one another.
When you and Mark and Jonathan, brothers like that were with us, you were like putting a good seasoning into sometimes our bland life, and we could see into the future, because, and for me personally, it shifted my life from that fixation on the past to looking not only the present but also into the future. I'm here today on sabbatical in large part because of the influence of you and different brothers to let me know there is life moving ahead. That is so vital to us. Our district is encouraged because of you and your classmates that have given us, a spark of life, that we're still moving ahead, and we're watching and listening, and I'm acting based on it, not perfectly, but trying to embrace. I'm 76. I'm in the fourth quarter of life. I think if God will lets me stay, I want to use that well. Brothers like you and Mark have encouraged me to embrace what's happening today, not to live in the past, which has its glories, but it's gone, and to embrace what's ahead.
The funds raised by the KabarA Challenge really give our brothers who have toiled in the fields, as it were, for many, many years in our schools, give them an opportunity to experience different things, to go on a sabbatical, or to learn, take some courses, to really refresh their own understanding of the world, of the church as it is today, and really understand the reality that we're living in, and better connect not only with one another in our communities, but also with our colleagues and with our students in our ministries each and every day.
There's so much opportunity for serving Christ now in a new way that it would be wrong to avoid it, but to embrace it, to enjoy it. I think we'll live longer because of it.
And I've only been within the community for just about a little over 5 years. And just being in a community, just seeing how humble the brothers are, and over the years, the type of fundraising activities that the brothers have done, and they rarely do fundraising for themselves. It's always fundraising for the school. It's always fundraising for the school, and I think of just jokes I've heard brothers say, what does FSC stand for? And one of the jokes is it stands for Forever Stacking Chairs, because they were always having these events where they would have raffles or they would have different things because they're always raising money for the students and for the school.
Yes, we've worked hard, and our type of work, as you know, many times it's that Tuesday afternoon in February. It's drudgery, it's hard work. They don't want to do it, but we plow through it. But then the fruit of that is the love and the devotion, and we've spread faith to people. We have given them education. We've taken care of students. The founder, that last meditation for time of retreat, and he says, when you, the joy of a brother of the Christian schools in heaven with his students, whom he has led as if by the hand to God. You've been doing that. I have been doing it. And that bridges the gap between us in our own way. Yours is a unique way. Mine is a unique way. But we bridge that gap because we are leading as if by hand people to Christ.
To have a challenge like this, to really show the brothers that all of those fundraisers you all had all those many, many years for the school, for the students, for scholarships, for new facilities, they're saying thank you to the brothers, for the years of service and for the years of fraternity and of brotherhood that you all have been to them, and how you all have been not only their teachers, their mentors, their coaches, their counselors, but really members of their family. When you go back to see some of your former students, and I know you have students where you taught the grandfather, the son, and the grandson, many examples of that, and to really connect with those families, and then they have an opportunity to say thank you in this way. I think just seeing it come full circle, that humility that you all showed over many, many years, you're finally getting a chance to get your limelight and have people say thank you for that service, for that witness.
The term retirement, as I've told you many times, still stings. That because to me it says television and worrying about doctors and not helping. So, but retirement is two. I'm moving to another way of the apostolate. I call it the fourth quarter of life, and you have encouraged me to do it. I will be eternally grateful for that. Invest yourself, your love, your time, your interest, your zeal into your community life, because that's the core. Our title, it says Christian Brothers. It does not say Christian Workers. It says Christian Brothers, regardless of my situation in life. If it's yours, where you're, in a sense, starting, where in mine, where I'm going to the fourth chapter, regardless. That's why we can stay together. The age is, I've been told, age is a number, but it doesn't put a wall between us. And the apostolate and the community make sure that we don't get walls between us.
And I think, just to go off something that you asked me, and I feel as a young brother, and all of us young brothers, we're tasked with bringing that mission, bringing those relationships forward into the future. And I think this KabarA challenge is a big piece of that, is really looking at the past, looking at those relationships, and saying thank you. Thank you for the relationships that our students have had with us as brothers over the years, and seeing how we as brothers still engaged in active ministry can continue to have those relationships with the students that we find in our schools today.
We've always heard that expression, you reap the 100-fold when you enter religious life. I have experienced 200-fold. Yes, I have given a lot. part of my spiritual direction this year is saying, you have been so devoted to your apostolate and work, it's now time to be rather than to do. KabarA makes it possible for me to be. And Brother Matt and his generation is helping the brother. They're telling us loudly and clearly, the apostolate is important. Equally, if not more important, is the community life. They are giving us a message that we are called to be brothers.
Joel, I just wanted to say thank you for the real gift of brotherhood that you have shared with me over these past more than 5 years, not only on a personal level, but in the community, really showing me what it means to be a brother to my fellow brothers. And in a ministry as well, how to be a brother to my colleagues, to my students, how to foster those relationships and to keep them going. Realize that that relationship doesn't end when they graduate. That relationship, if we foster it the way you have for many, many years, is a relationship that can last a lifetime. And I thank you for that.